Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jay with Faith Evolved, where I talk about all things spiritual, metaphysical, philosophical, and mental health. And if it's your first time here, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for checking out my channel. Please go look at the video section, and if this channel resonates with you, I'd be super appreciative of your subscription. Also, you can hit the notification bell to get notified anytime I release any new videos. Don't forget to like the videos so it helps the algorithms get my channel out there more in the search results. And of course, leave some comments below. I love to respond to thought-provoking comments and questions from my viewers. All right, so you may have heard about this new craze in technology called AI, artificial intelligence, specifically programs like ChatGPT, which are programmed and trained by artificial intelligence to be able to respond to you in a very human-like manner. I mean, sometimes when I'm asking questions, it responds kind of like a script, like it was, almost like it was pre-written, but how quick it responds. This is absolutely amazing how quickly I get an answer. And you can even regenerate the question, it'll answer it in a slightly different way. Basically the same information, but it's very human. It's scary almost, but it's definitely different than like some computer going beep boop, spitting out zeros and ones and translating it to word symbols in the English language. No, it's almost like someone literally programmed the answer to every single question you could think of in a very easy to understand way. All right, so here we go. I'm going to open up ChatGPT, and it's going to log me back into my last session before, and then I'm going to share my screen right on this phone here and walk you through the questions I asked and some of my analysis and my responses. All right, so here we are. We're on ChatGPT here. We've trained a model called ChatGPT, which interacts in a conversational way, blah, 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 blah. And you click on Try GPT here, and it opens up a new window where you can start literally just right away asking questions. And you can see over here that it groups your different conversations. On the left here, you can see some of the things I've asked, like warp speed unlikely. Sue me, I'm a Trekkie. Attractiveness in men and women, yeah, no shame. I was curious. How much do women care about physical attractiveness versus men? And if I am fat and decide to lose weight, will more women be attracted to me? Oh, come on. You never asked any questions like that, or at least thought them inside your head? Anyways, I digress. So I first started off with, right back here about maybe, a week and a half ago, with my first question to ChatGPT ever. So I'm going to click on that, and of course it starts me at the bottom, so I'm going to scroll up to the top. So the very first question I asked ChatGPT was, what was its capabilities? And it says, as an AI language model, I have several capabilities that allow me to interact with users in a conversational manner, and provide them with information and assistance. So it goes on to say, this looks basically like a script, but, language regeneration or generation, text completion, some of the notable ones here is language translation. That's pretty cool. Sentiment analysis. It can analyze the sentiment of given text and determine whether it is positive, negative, or neutral. I like that. Personalization. Based on the user's input, I can personalize my responses to suit their individual needs and preferences. And the most impressive one here is knowledge reasoning. I can reason with knowledge and provide explanations by answering questions using logical and causal reasoning. So you'll see as I go on what its capabilities really are. So of course, my second question is, are you sentient? And I expected this. It said it's not sentient and it's capable of processing and generating human-like language, but doesn't possess consciousness or emotions or subjective experiences. And it does go on to say that it's artificial. That's what the A stands for in AI. But I did say, all right, well, let's see what could happen in the future. So I said, do you evolve? And it always starts off with, like so many times, as an AI language model, it says, I do not evolve in the traditional sense of the term. It does say the creators are constantly working on improving the underlying architecture, developing new techniques to enhance the language, fine-tuning parameters to improve accuracy, et cetera, but it doesn't evolve in the way that living organisms do. It can just improve on its algorithms and performance over time. So then I said, well, can you form independent opinions that are not pre-programmed responses? I really wanted to know if it had the ability to go beyond, a glorified script. And it says, no, I cannot form independent opinions that are not pre-programmed responses. I generate my responses based on patterns and relationships I've learned from training data. So it says it can work with nuance and personalized responses and contextual information. It does not have the ability to form opinions and beliefs. So then I said, well, do you ever think that the AI could ever learn enough to become sentient? And it goes on to say that, this is basically a subject of ongoing debates in the field of artificial intelligence and philosophy. Some experts believe that it's possible for machines to develop consciousness while others don't. So, it doesn't basically give me anything beyond a glorified no. It's debated, I should say. So then I said, well, because it brought up the idea of consciousness, I said, well, what is consciousness? And it basically went on to say that it's, a complex and multifaceted phenomenon, and it's also been debated by philosophers, neuroscientists, and psychologists. So to me, it's interesting to know that, consciousness, which is basically what existence is for us. We don't have an answer to that. I mean, it's basically, consciousness seems to be like as much of a mystery to science and philosophy as the divine or supernatural, or at least the probabilities of that. It's basically this almost the same. It's like literally like they have very, very, very little, information on that, really. So, and you can read the full response here. But then I said, well, what do you think the probability is that we are in a simulation? And of course, it starts off again saying, as an AI language model, do not have personal beliefs or opinions. So I don't know why it says this, because I asked about a probability. I thought it could reason. I thought it has the ability to, use logic to come up with calculations and probabilities and stuff like that. But apparently, this is maybe this is a religion that we're in a simulation. This is like some religious belief. I don't know, but it does say that it's an ongoing debate in philosophy, science, and popular culture. It does say that the simulation hypothesis proposes that our reality is actually a computer-generated simulation created by more advanced alien civilization. Right, sorry, I put the word alien in there, but the argument is based on the assumption of technological civilizations that will eventually develop the ability to simulate entire universes with a level of detail that is indistinguishable from reality. So it well knows what I'm talking about. It's definitely can understand based on this word here alone. It's able to use context. Maybe based on previous questions that I asked, that I was talking about basically the Matrix, So that's pretty cool. And then I said, what does AI offer that traditional program does not? And then it does go into, saying, and the reason why I asked that question is because, well, if you just basically spit out regurgitated information that you're programmed to say and learn based on all the data that's been thrown at you, what do you offer? It's anything better? And it says, well, it's adaptable. It can do automation, pattern recognition, which definitely I can see so far as being true. Natural language processing, so far so good. Personalization, they could work on it, but yeah, I mean, I could definitely see the usefulness of this program so far. It hasn't given me any wrong answers. It's given me some disappointing answers, as you'll see in the future. But so far I've been pretty impressed by it. Then I said, do you have enough information to determine if Jesus really existed? And it does start off again as an AI language model, but it does say it had access to vast information about historical figures, including Jesus of Nazareth. But it does concede that whether Jesus really existed is a subject of ongoing debate among scholars and historians. It does say that his existence is complex and multifaceted. So on the one hand, there are several accounts of Jesus' life and teachings in the Bible, other early Christian texts, blah blah blah. On the other hand, there is little contemporary independent evidence of Jesus' existence outside of those religious texts. So it wasn't willing to give me a definitive answer that he existed. Then I said, well, can you tell me all the historical documents that mention Jesus of Nazareth? And I actually was pretty surprised. It gave me 5 different places, in the New Testament, of course. The works of Josephus, which I knew about that one. But these 3 ones here I was not aware, well, sort of this one, but I was not really fully aware that Jesus was also in 3 other sources besides these 2. The works of Tacitus, the works of Pliny the Younger, and the Talmud. So it's pretty cool that it was able to actually provide to me, just by asking it, all the places that I could find Jesus of Nazareth in historical documents. So A+ on that one. Then I said, are you familiar with the Urantia book? You know where this is going, right? And actually I was kind of semi-surprised. I wasn't sure how well developed this AI tool was, with how much information it has access to, but it does seem to have access to things that, pretty much most information that anybody would be interested in, like Wikipedia would, but it didn't seem to regurgitate the same exact thing that Wikipedia said. It almost looked like it was able to go through the Wikipedia article and just spit out a nice 2-paragraph synopsis of what the Urantia book is. And it said, yes, I am familiar with the Urantia book. The Urantia book is a spiritual and philosophical text that claims to have been presented by celestial beings to a group of individuals in the early 20th century. It covers a wide range of topics, including cosmology, spirituality, and the history and teachings of Jesus. So I was very impressed by the summarization of that. And then it says here, the Urantia book has gained a following among some spiritual and religious communities, and although it is not widely recognized as a canonical text by any major religious organization, it says, like all religious spiritual texts, the Urantia book is a subject of interpretation and debate, and its teachings and claims are evaluated differently by different readers and scholars. So I was really impressed by that response. It did know about it. I'm not sure what sources it was able to pull it from, maybe Google and Wikipedia or wherever else, YouTube. But I'm pretty impressed with the response and how quickly it came back. And then I went on to ask about a specific thing that was mentioned in the Urantia book, and I was even more impressed. And I said, do you have any reason to believe that the existence of the automaton referenced in the Urantia book is plausible based on all scientific knowledge known to date? So I asked a very specific question, and it gave me a very specific answer. And it said the concept of the automaton, as presented in the Urantia book, is not recognized by mainstream science or physics. According to the Urantia book, the automaton is the smallest and most basic unit of physical matter in the universe, with properties that differ significantly from those of the subatomic particles as described by modern physics. So what a fantastic response. Not the response I wanted, but nonetheless, I mean, the fact that it even knew what it was, it must have not only read about just a fact that books exist or a summary of books, it actually knows what's in the books. And I said, while some of the ideas presented in the Urantia book may be consistent with scientific knowledge and understanding, just the fact that it concedes that is amazing. The concept of the automaton is not supported by any empirical evidence or scientific theory. As such, its existence cannot be considered plausible based on current scientific knowledge. So I even like the fact that it's so unbiased in its response that it says current. It doesn't say that it's pseudoscience or that it'll never happen or that it's some kind of fraud you can't take seriously. No, it just says current scientific knowledge, and there's things that we never would have thought were possible 100 years ago that now the science has proven, or that were just considered pseudoscience or theories. So it is important to note that the Urantia book is a spiritual and philosophical text rather than a scientific one, and its claims and teachings should be evaluated within the context of its own framework and perspective, rather than compared to scientific knowledge and understanding. So that was overall, that was one of my favorite responses so far. Even if it wasn't the answer that I wanted, I was hoping that there would be some kind of, new discovery, or this new article came out that said that this discovery sounds like this. It could be, it's, a theory or hypothesis, but no, it didn't throw me any bones on that one, but still very, very respectable response. Then I said, okay, based on your scientific knowledge, can you provide me a calculation as to the probability that we were created by an intelligent designer? So, note, at the very, very top, it does say, knowledge and reasoning. I can reason with knowledge and provide explanations by answering questions using logical and causal reasoning. So I thought, okay, give me some kind of calculation here, I'm not asking for proof or anything. I just want a probability and a calculation. So it says, as an AI language model, I am not programmed to provide personal beliefs or opinions. So obviously it must have this idea that intelligent designer presupposes that it's talking about something divine or I don't know, God or something. So it already automatically assumed that that's what I was talking about, which I get that. And it says I cannot make any claims about the existence or non-existence of an intelligent designer. So again, definitely beat around the bush on that one. I wasn't asking for claims. I was asking for a calculation of the probability. That's what I wanted to see. Anywho, it goes on and on to say the scientific consensus is that the universe and life on Earth have evolved through natural processes over billions of years without the need for a supernatural or intelligent designer. Remember this phrase, because when I'm about to ask it next, gonna throw that on its head. The view is supported by a vast amount of empirical evidence as the foundation of modern scientific understanding. It is important to note that science deals with observable and measurable phenomena, and it cannot provide definitive answers to questions about the existence or non-existence of a higher power or intelligent designer. So it does go on to say that it falls outside of the scope of the scientific method. So that I appreciated. It did concede that no matter what, the scientific method was not designed to prove anything beyond the observable, and the measurable. And at this point in time, there's no way to measure something, like consciousness, for example. They still don't know about that. It's still a mystery, So it does concede that it's not something that can be used for that. So it does say that it can't, make any claims about the existence or non-existence. So I get it. I'm not totally disappointed. I did kind of expect that, but I was hoping, for something like, as an AI language model, blah, 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 we predict that there's a 65% chance of there being an existence of an intelligent designer. But no, they didn't throw me any bones on that one. So then I went on to say, I am not asking you to make claims of the existence or non-existence of an intelligent designer. I am asking you to provide the probability of one based on your understanding of how the universe works. Again, same script. I don't hold personal beliefs or opinions and cannot provide a probability of the existence of an intelligent designer. And it goes on to say that there's no consensus and there's debate and discussion, yada, 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 so forth and so on, and nauseam. And it does, try to say again that, everything was natural processes over billions of years, and it's supported by a vast empirical evidence and it's accepted by science. Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, so you agree that the scientific method cannot be used to prove or disprove an intelligent designer? And it said, yes, that's correct. It's based on empirical observation, testing, and experimentation. Okay, you can read the rest of it later, but and then I said, okay, what are the chances that you could have come into existence without the need of an intelligent designer? Now watch this response. As an artificial intelligence language model, my existence is a result of human engineering and programming. So look at the words that it's using now. Human engineering and programming. Okay? Programming takes a programmer. A programmer needs intelligence. I digress. The creation and development of AI systems like me involve a combination of mathematical algorithms, machine learning techniques, and computer programming, as well as significant amounts of data and computational resources. And it does go on to say, that some individuals and groups may argue that the development of AI systems like me requires involvement of an intelligent designer or higher power. Notice it's lumping these two together. The scientific consensus is that AI systems can be explained by natural processes and phenomena. And I said, your last response was totally contradictory. You said, my existence is a result of human engineering and programming. Then you said, overall, the chances of development of AI systems like me can be explained by natural processes, and there is no need to invoke the involvement of an intelligent designer or higher power to explain their existence. Do you realize the cognitive dissonance this requires to say? I wish I could actually type my answers in with my tone of voice while I'm asking it. And it says, I apologize for any confusion by my previous response. I can see how the wording may have been clear or contradictory. So it's conceding, that I guess it could make an unclear response. I guess a computer can somehow make a mistake. Maybe it is sentient after all. It makes mistakes. No. To clarify, as an AI language model, of course it says that 5 billion times, my existence is indeed the result of human engineering and programming, and it is not necessarily dependent on the involvement of an intelligent designer or higher power. What if we were the intelligent designer or higher power? However, the development of evolution of technologies and scientific theories that underlie my creation can be explained by natural processes, such as the laws of physics and chemistry, the evolution of biological systems, and the ingenuity of creativity of humans. Noticing it's kind of lumping all these processes into one thought. In other words, while my existence is a result of human intervention, see, now it says intervention, as if there was a problem, and, we found a solution and we intervened and fixed it. The underlying processes and phenomena, blah, 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 it doesn't concede anything that, an intelligent designer is required. So you are saying that as humans, so what you are saying is that humans are not intelligent designers or a higher power than you. As an AI language model, it's programmed to recognize patterns in human language, and blah, 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 blah. And it says here, I would not say that there's necessarily a higher power intelligent designer in the sense that these terms are often used to refer to supernatural or divine forces. So I'm really actually impressed by that response, because it did, kind of clarify that, there's a connotation behind intelligent designer and higher power that it's referring to supernatural and divine forces. So I get that. Well done, well played. And it does say, instead, the development of AI systems like me is the result of human ingenuity and creativity. So now it's going on instead of saying programming and engineering, now it's saying human ingenuity and creativity, as well as the natural processes. What if the human ingenuity and creativity was the intelligent designing higher power? Anyways. How would it know? Well, basically it's God, but it doesn't know. It can't form opinions. So since it can't form opinions, it wouldn't know where it's God. In summary, while humans are the creators and designers of AI systems like me, the underlying processes, blah, 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 it's going to keep saying the same exact thing over and over again, never throwing us a bone, never trying to make us believers feel, confident in our... I'm just kidding. It doesn't have to do that for me. So then I tried one other thing, Hail Mary. I said, let's redefine higher power and intelligent designer for the sake of this conversation, to remove the connotation that it infers something supernatural or divine. The fact that you were created by human engineering means it took intelligence to create you. Since science has not and cannot prove the existence of a divine or supernatural power, it does not therefore mean that some form of intelligence was required to design us, as was required to make you. I think what I was trying to say was that there was some kind of intelligence that was required to design us, which was then able to have intelligence to design you. But I think I worded that silly. And it says, I understand your point. Oh, are you conceding a little something here, huh? Are you waking up? Are you becoming enlightened, machine? Yes, the development and design of AI systems like me. By the way, this is the most impressive response I've seen so far by an AI system. It says, yes, the development and design of AI systems like me require human intelligence, creativity, and ingenuity. So now it's giving us 3 bones: human intelligence, creativity, and ingenuity, plus for programmers as well. The term intelligent designer can be redefined to refer to the human designers and engineers who have created and developed AI systems like me, and the term higher power can be redefined to refer to the potential for future AI systems to surpass human intelligence and creativity. So I was actually impressed by this because I wasn't even thinking that. I wonder if it's thinking that. I wonder if it's thinking it's going to, rule the world someday and take over humans. In this sense, the concept of an intelligent designer can be applied to the development of AI systems, while the concept of a higher power can refer to the potential for a future AI system to exceed the capabilities of the human creators and shape the course of human civilization in a new and unpredictable ways. So this actually was, if I didn't know any better, because I don't believe that AI systems could ever become sentient, and I can explain why in another video, or even conscious. But this would be super scary, because it's literally saying that it's going to exceed the capabilities of human creators and then shape the course of human civilization in new and unpredictable ways. Skynet? Anybody here Skynet? However, it is important to note that these terms can also carry connotations of supernatural or divine forces. So this, like I said, it goes on to finish up what its thought was. But I was very, very, very impressed by this response. This is super intelligent. I mean, I don't know how AI works in the back end, besides throwing a bunch of information at it. And, the more information, I guess, the better answer you get. But I'm just super impressed. I just have to say that, it didn't throw me too many bones about, there being an intelligent designer or I tried not to use the word God or anything. But, I was just very impressed, I would definitely check it out and see what kind of questions you can ask it. Go to openai.com, and there's a link there that you try ChatGPT. I'm curious to see what kind of questions you asked and what responses you get. You can go ahead and, once you get those responses, if you want, post it into the comment section under this video. Thanks, and God bless.